Hi, welcome to Courses by Moss, where we teach the technical side of design. I'm Marisha, owner and sole designer at Moss Interior. With over 25 years of experience to share in both commercial and residential design, I'm here to teach and empower you to take on your own interior design project. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Marisha with Moss, and welcome back to our DIY Draw Your Own Space course. So far we have covered sketching the space, putting it on paper, measuring all our openings, measuring our cabinets, our plumbing, our lighting, all our light fixtures and outlets. Now we're ready to take all of that information and turn it into an interior elevation. So why are elevations so important? They locate the windows, the heights. That way, if we're laying out a new space, it just gives us a little bit more information on where we can and can't put things like cabinets. Now, if we have a window that sits 24 inches off the ground and we know that a typical kitchen countertop is 36, obviously we can't put the countertop there, so moving on. That type of information is just insanely helpful for your design process. So similar to the way that we started with our floor plan is we want to take each elevation, we want to look at the wall straight on and sketch what we see.
To start, here's a full view of our kitchen. It didn't always look like this. This is what it looked like before. As you can see, this whole process comes in handy for this particular remodel. We kept all window, plumbing, and electrical locations pretty much the same.
We will start with our sink wall. I like to line up my elevations that I've already drawn on the floor plan. This keeps the loose scale the same and will help keep everything lined up, organized, which is really good for recognizing discrepancies later. Elevation number 1, sink wall, which obviously does not have to be neat. So we know, according to our photograph, that we have a window in the corner, and see how we're going to line this up. And again, this is just for loose scale. This isn't even close to the scale. We have another window here above the sink. See how I lined that up? Is our refrigerator. So we're just going to draw a line here for our fridge. I know that we have a bench. This is the edge of our counter, and this is the start of our bench. So roughly here. And I know that my countertop comes below my window, and I know that our bench comes just below this window. I know we have a light fixture here. I know we have a pendant that hangs down here. I know based on these lines here that we have a dishwasher, draw a line. I know that we have our sink and sink cabinet here, draw a line. And then this matches here, which is another cabinet, and our refrigerator. Refrigerator, we'll do our countertop line, sink, and bench. When in doubt, label what you can. Uppers, and we have uppers here, upper caps. One thing we always want to do and get before we start anything is the ceiling height of your space. Depending on how high your ceiling space is, I like to go find a corner to use. It tends to keep your tape measure a little more sturdy. Start on the ground. You want to start with the dummy end of your tape on the ground. This is also why you want a good construction tape measure, because they're nice and firm. So I kind of brace that against the wall, or in my case, the cabinet and the wall. And then I want to feed my tape measure all the way up to the ceiling where I can see the number that touches the ceiling. So my ceiling is 98. Key elements that we want to get are countertop heights, upper cabinets, light switches, doors, windows, and any built-ins. And from there, we get the heights from the floor up. So we want to mark anything on our wall from the floor to the top of that height. Cabinets. And as you can see, we already marked earlier our 98 inches, which is our overall ceiling height. One of the important things to remember is when you are measuring for elevations and you're locating your windows, we already know where the windows are located on the wall, but what we also need to log is the height from the finished floor, the height of the window itself, and then just to be safe, any leftover gap between the top of the window and the ceiling. So we'll do this one over here, which isn't the best one to measure today, but I'm having lighting issues, so we're going to use that one. From the floor to the top of the counter, And then we want to add from the top of the counter to the window opening, not the ledge, not the frame. We want to make sure it's the opening of the window itself. Mark your inches. Then the height of the window, which I believe we got when we did the floor plan, but we're going to do it again. Height of the window, mark your inches. And then from the ceiling to the top of the window opening, again, not the frame, mark your inches. So now we're locating the height of our window. And again, based on our floor plan, we already know where the window is located on the wall itself. However, now we are going to locate its location from floor to ceiling. So we already know that from floor to top of counter is 40. Then we measured from top of counter to the opening of the window itself. Then we measured the height of the window. Then we measured from ceiling to the top of window. There you have it. Okay, we've gotten all the information we need to do our elevations. Now let's transfer it to paper. Okay, lastly, we'll take all of the information and put it to paper. Don't forget to locate your outlets and switches, just like I did with drawing the elements themselves. We're going to line up our existing elevation to our existing plan and add those electrical elements. So we have 2 outlets here, which I usually just do this. We have 1 switch here, another outlet here, and another outlet probably down low, don't know, behind the refrigerator. So what we'll do from here is measure the height of your outlets. They all should be the same, and switches, and make sure you're labeling everything on each wall exactly the same. You'll flip it, I already sketched this out briefly, the opposite wall, which is the range, the hood. Once you have an elevation like this for each wall of each room in your entire project, you will be armed with all the information you need to move on to the next step, which would be design. Elements like this are great if you're doing the project yourself, or if you're sharing it with a designer or contractor. This will give them the information they need to do their job as efficiently as possible. All right, you guys, great job. We are done. See, I told you it was not gonna be that hard. If I have a client in another state or another city and I ask them to go ahead and measure a room and send it to me, you would not believe some of the things that I've received. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Now you can go into any room, measure it accurately, efficiently, put it on paper. Once you link it all together, you'll have your whole floor plan. I'm really glad you joined me for this. I'm hoping to do more courses like this so you can take on your own design project and look like a pro. This was my very first online course, so I hope that it was informative and easy to follow, and hopefully I will get better at this as I move forward. Klausie and I, thank you for joining. I swear he's really excited about it. Until next time.
Please like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and we'll do some really fun projects together. See you next time.